In this slidecast, we will address some basic questions like what is innovation, why is there so much focus on it, and who in your organisation should innovate. There are so many great resources on innovation. My favourite books include bestsellers like The Innovator's DNA by Clayton Christensen, Lean Startup and the Startup Way by Eric Ries, The 4 Steps to the Epiphany by Steve Blank, Business Model Generation by Alexander Osterwalder, and Designing for Growth, a design thinking toolkit for managers by Jenny Lidke. There are great podcasts like Innovation Ecosystem by Mark Bidwell and Reid Hoffman's Master of Scale, and superb websites like Innovation Insider and Strategyzer. So let's kick off by asking, what is innovation? It's such an overused word that it can be difficult to clearly grasp its meaning. This makes it hard for organisations to create a common language around innovation. So take a second to think about the words you think about when you hear the word innovation. I think about innovation in the context of creativity and imagination. So creativity is applied imagination, and innovation is applied creativity. We can also think about it as the sum of invention and exploitation, and we can add in the concept of value by explaining innovation as a new way of doing things that adds value. Why do you think there's so much focus and attention on creativity and innovation today? Again, take a minute to think about it. It is fascinating to reflect on this question. I think the main reason is that we are living in a period of the most profound changes in technology, in how we live our lives, changes in the nature of our economies, our politics, our laws, our government. Change. And yet, remarkably, the pace of change will never be slower than it is today. Change is increasingly volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. VUCA. Resources that used to be critical success factors for big business are now almost freely available to new startups, scale-ups, SMEs, and corporates seeking new growth engines. We've democratized knowledge with developments like knowledge communities, e-learning, and open source. We've democratized creation with idea crowdsourcing platforms, rapid prototyping, and app models. And of course, we have democratized distribution and commerce, thanks to low-cost global courier services and the now ubiquitous internet and mobile devices. For most organizations today, it's simply innovate or die. It's remarkable to think how the practice of innovation has changed so much inside big business. Today, the focus is not only on product innovation, but also on business models, processes, and networks. And where the responsibility for innovation used to lie squarely with specialist R&D people, today many, or even most employees, are responsible for it. Innovation is now continuous and iterative, where learning from experimentation and failure is embraced. And of course, there are a whole new set of proven processes, tools, and techniques like design thinking, lean startup, business model innovation, and agile that support and guide innovation initiatives. So who in your organisation should be innovating? Should it be a small number of mavericks, or should it be all decision makers, which could represent 30% or more of your total workforce? Or should it be everybody? Everyone's responsibility. For me, it's a question of who wants to be involved in developing new things that add value to the company. Who has the appetite and motivation to volunteer to promote and champion innovation? Who has the creative entrepreneurial mindset? Who wants to be their own hero? People like Spence Silver and Art Fry. Spence Silver was a junior chemist in an R&D lab who mistakenly invented a failed glue, a glue that had really poor adhesive qualities. However, he imagined his failure as a super weak glue that stuck to objects but could be easily peeled off and reused. He spent years, together with his colleague Art Fry, looking for useful applications for the adhesive, much of it in their own spare time. Management weren't that interested, and colleagues often ridiculed them. But they had the innovator's mindset. They continued to observe, question, experiment, network, learn, adapt, and iterate. 9 years later, after they developed this so-called failed adhesive, after much trial and error, much failure, incredible persistence and resilience, their employer, the great 3M, launched the Post-it note. And the rest, as they say, is history. So I leave you with this quote about innovation from Seth Godin, author of Poke the Box. He said, "Our economy is not static, but we act as if it is. Your position in the world is defined by what you instigate, how you provoke, and what you learn from the events you cause. In a world filled with change, that's what matters, your ability to create and learn from change."